Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes of, well, everything?
Mm.
Today, we're diving into the world of molding machine operators.
Yeah.
These are the folks who, build the molds that give shape to tons of everyday objects.
Right?
And thanks to RoleCatcher, we've got a stack of insights into this career path.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's
Eh,
more than just pushing buttons.
Absolutely. What's fascinating about this is how this role kind of sits at the intersection of raw materials and high-precision engineering. We're talking about transforming materials like sand, plastics, even molten metal into these intricate molds.
Oh, wait.
And these molds are then used to create everything from car parts to medical devices.
You mentioned molten metal, and I have to admit the detail from the RoleCatcher guide really caught my eye.
Yeah.
Working with materials at those temperatures, that sounds pretty intense.
It certainly adds a level of complexity and risk.
Right.
Think about the safety protocols and precision required to handle molten metal at thousands of degrees.
Yeah.
One miscalculation could be disastrous.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of skill to manage that process effectively, but then also safely.
It makes you appreciate the craftsmanship behind those everyday objects we often take for granted, right?
Yeah.
You don't always think about the journey from molten metal to, say, the plastic housing for your phone.
Precisely. And that journey often starts with a molding machine operator, ensuring that each mold is created with accuracy and attention to detail.
Wow.
They're the unsung heroes of the manufacturing world, creating the foundation for so many products we rely on.
And speaking of that journey, RoleCatcher lays out a pretty interesting potential career path, right?
That's right. You might start as an entry-level operator, but with experience and continued learning, you can move up to supervisory or even management roles.
Wow.
Imagine overseeing an entire department responsible for the quality and efficiency of the molding process. That's a lot of responsibility, but also a lot of potential for growth.
It sounds like it could be a great fit for someone who enjoys hands-on work, problem solving, and seeing those tangible results of their efforts, right? But RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat things either.
Yeah,
They're upfront about the realities of the job, both good and bad.
exactly. It's not always a glamorous job.
Hmm?
The guide mentions the physical demands,
Okay.
standing for long periods, potential heavy lifting, and the repetitive nature of some tasks.
Right.
And then there are the inherent risks associated with working in a manufacturing environment,
Mhm.
especially when dealing with hazardous materials.
Right. They don't shy away from the noise, the dust, and the potential for things to get, well, a little bit heated.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But for someone who thrives in a fast-paced, hands-on environment
Yeah.
and enjoys the satisfaction of building something real, it could be a very rewarding career path.
Yeah.
And that's where the importance of self-assessment comes in, which RoleCatcher emphasizes in their guide.
So true. You really have to weigh those pros and cons and see if they align with your personality and your career goals.
Right.
Okay, we've established that this job is more demanding than it might seem at first glance, but it also has the potential for growth and offers that tangible connection to the products we use every day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about what it takes to actually land one of these molding machine operator jobs.
Okay.
RoleCatcher has a whole section dedicated to interview prep, and I have to say, their approach is pretty innovative.
It really is.
Hey, Bob.
Instead of just like offering generic advice, RoleCatcher dives into the specifics of what a molding machine operator might encounter during an interview.
Right.
They have these sample questions that cover like everything from basic safety protocols to troubleshooting techniques for common machinery issues.
Right. And they even delve into the nuances of different molding materials.
Yeah.
Like you might be asked about your experience with sand casting versus injection molding.
Right.
It's not just about saying I can operate a machine. It's about showing you understand the intricacies of the craft.
Exactly. And this is where their AI-powered interview practice really shines.
Oh, okay.
They encourage you to actually record yourself answering these questions on video, which might sound a little intimidating.
But it's actually brilliant
Yeah.
because then their AI analyzes your performance and provides personalized feedback.
Right.
It's like having a personal interview coach like in your pocket,
Right.
helping you refine your answers, your body language, everything.
It's all about preparation.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher seems to understand that nailing an interview in today's competitive job market requires more than just a firm handshake and a generic resume.
Speaking of resumes, RoleCatcher also provides tools and resources for crafting a standout CV.
Cool.
They guide you through highlighting your skills and experience in a way that aligns with the specific requirements of a molding machine operator role.
It's about like connecting the dots for potential employers, right?
Yeah.
You might have transferable skills from previous jobs, maybe in problem solving, attention to detail, or even just working effectively as part of a team. RoleCatcher helps you frame those skills in a way that resonates with hiring managers in the manufacturing industry.
It's like they've cracked the code of what employers are looking for in this field.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get completely sidetracked by all the cool tools and resources RoleCatcher offers, let's circle back to something that caught my attention earlier.
Okay.
We were discussing the potential career path of a molding machine operator. And it got me thinking about the future of this role, especially with all this talk about automation and manufacturing.
Right.
RoleCatcher actually addresses this, right?
They do. It's one of those elephant in the room questions that anyone considering a career in manufacturing needs to address.
Right.
And to be honest, it's not a simple yes or no answer.
Right, because on the one hand, you have robots becoming more prevalent in factories, but on the other hand, you still need skilled humans to manage those robots, program them, and ensure everything is running smoothly.
Exactly. And that's the nuance that RoleCatcher highlights. They acknowledge the increasing role of automation in the industry, but they also emphasize that skilled operators are still, and likely will continue to be, in high demand.
So it's less about robots replacing humans and more about the nature of the work evolving.
Precisely. The molding machine operator of the future might be less about manually operating machinery and more about programming, troubleshooting, and overseeing complex automated systems.
So it sounds like technical skills and adaptability are going to be even more crucial in the coming years.
Absolutely. And this ties back to something RoleCatcher emphasizes throughout their guide. Continuous learning.
Okay.
The future belongs to those who are willing to adapt, embrace new technologies, and continuously expand their skill sets.
It's like the role's becoming even more like multifaceted. Right. You
Right.
still need that hands-on understanding of the molding process, but now you're also bringing in elements of programming, robotics, problem solving on a whole new level.
Exactly. And that's a really exciting prospect for anyone who enjoyed the challenge of merging traditional craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology.
Right.
It's no longer just about muscle. It's about having the mental agility to adapt and thrive in a constantly evolving field.
That's a message I think a lot of people need to hear, especially those who might be hesitant to enter the manufacturing sector because they worry about automation.
It's about shifting the perspective from robots taking jobs to robots creating new opportunities.
Yeah.
The key is to be prepared to kind of step into those opportunities by embracing lifelong learning and staying ahead of the technological curve.
And RoleCatcher really provides a roadmap for doing just that. We've only skimmed the surface of their resources today, but they offer in-depth guides, interview practice tools, resume building resources, a wealth of information for
Wow.
anyone considering a career as a molding machine operator.
It's all about empowering individuals to take control of their career paths and make informed decisions.
Yeah.
Whether you're drawn to the hands-on work, the problem-solving aspects, or the potential to work with cutting-edge technology, there's a place for you in the world of molding and manufacturing.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of molding machine operators, I'm curious, can you picture yourself in that environment? Maybe surrounded by the hum of machinery, carefully inspecting a freshly made mold, or maybe even programming a robotic arm to handle molten metal. It might not be the first job that comes to mind when you think of a fulfilling career, but as we've discovered today, it's a field full of challenges, opportunities, and the satisfaction of quite literally shaping the world around us.
And who knows, it might just be the perfect fit for your unique skills and ambitions.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on diving deep.